Hello, TikTok and friends. I want to come to you today and talk about souls. As someone that has been gifted since I was a young child, I wanted to give my personal opinion on what I have grown to know about the spiritual and physical plane and the difference between souls and spirit and vessel and other things. I don't see too many people talking about this. And, I used to have such delightful conversations with older individuals on this app about this. So I figured it's about time for me to get into it. We're also going to bring up some spicy science to explain certain things. Okay, so in science, we have already proven that energy itself, once it is created, it cannot, be dissipated or made less. It either stays the same or it becomes something more, greater than. Well, when it comes to the soul gives off a frequency, a sound frequency. The soul has a vibration of sound. Just like radio frequency waves can be found and caught in the air and travel very long distances, if you just so happen to have a fine-tuned radio that you can mess with, you could find channels that will come in on certain stations. And as we know, radio frequencies travel through the air, anywhere and everywhere at all given times. Same is to be said for the soul. In science, we are also taught that when the sperm has met the egg, biological change happens and a spark of light. That spark of light happens to be spirit. Spirit is higher forms of consciousness. Spirit and souls are totally different. You see, the higher form of consciousness breaks a piece of itself off and sparks itself into life inside of a vessel that becomes a vessel itself. You see, spirit is encumbered into vessel since the form of creation. Spirit is the energy of light, and that energy of light is a form of consciousness. See, all spirits have their own form of consciousness. Spirits are not like humanly souls. Spirits have jobs to do. They're here for reasons, and they're greater than. You see, when people talk about their spirits, they're talking about something that's greater than, something that comes from a different, higher, source of consciousness. Unless they're talking about their ancestors, but even then, they have become spirits due to their higher, form of consciousness. They are no longer souls because they are something more and became something more. Remember what I said about energy, folks. Remember what I said about energy and what science has proved about energy. And keep all of that in mind as I'm telling you everything. Now, what is the vessel? The vessel is this, what we're in. This vessel gives off vibrational energy, straight vibe, because it's atoms and molecular molecules and cells constantly moving and changing. It went from something that was a sperm and an egg colliding together, and it became something more, and still continues to become more as you grow in age. And your body never stays the same due to the energy of vibration. Now, with all of that being said, the soul will go through 3 transitions. Yes, I am saying that the soul does go through 3 different types of transitions. First is when the higher form of consciousness, spirit, light, and the vessel is born onto this planet. And the soul enters into the vessel and encumbers spirit. And yes, this is how the saying old soul comes into play. Meaning a child whose soul is far, much older than they themselves appear. Say that kid's got an old soul within them. And we've also seen on documentaries where, kids have been proven to have had past lives and stuff. And it has been factually proven. With these kids, knowing their past lives and their names and even family members' names. And this is also the first part of the transition, the soul entering into the body. The second part of the transition is detachment. Death and dying. Thing that a lot of people, are afraid of because, they don't understand it. Truthfully, when you are dying and have died, right, you yourself as a soul might have a little bit of, oh, what the fuck. But truly, the panic is just coming from your body because, your brain, your physical human brain, is trying to protect you because you are dying. Once you have fully died, there will be a moment of just darkness, everything's just dark, everything's just dark, right? Then you get shot over to the spiritual plane, which is, phase 2, detachment. Now, during this time, either a soul can, possibly stay to reincarnate, whatever the cray, whatever, right? There's many different reasons why the soul does not go through the third stage. Maybe they're staying behind to wait for somebody. Maybe they're trying to reincarnate. Maybe they're going to become a guide. There are several things, okay? There are several things. And the mechanical, quantum physics of, spirit and the spiritual world on thus far, if you think you know that it's, a little topsy-turvy because it itself don't fully always make sense. Even to, us most seasoned of practitioners, okay? We're learning just like the rest of y'all and continue learning all the time. New things, all the time. What you think you know, just know that you only know like a itty bitty bit, okay? Because I myself am still fucking learning a lot. Now, over time, your soul, because it cannot be, it's energy, sound energy that cannot be gotten rid of. So it either keeps repeating the same pattern and staying the same, like as in coming back over and over again in the echoes through time and space. Or it could do this thing that I like to call the third phase and also call the awakening phase, where it realizes that it is a celestial body of energy. And this place is not found on the physical realm or spiritual physical realm of Earth. It is somewhere entirely different and has, a whole fucking different. Absolutely. You don't know nothing. You do not know anything. Okay? If you think you know, you don't know, and it is what it is. But at that point in time, your soul can become something more, which is the third phase. We need light, sound, vibration, and atoms and molecules to create and make something. And also remember, light has refractal coloring. This is also why when, you have light, sound, and vibration encumbered, with a vessel and stuff, some people who have a keen sense of eyes can see refractal light coming outside of a person because that human being is creating an energy field of their own. That energy field is called an aura because, as we know through science, light, sound, and vibration creates things. And if you are an energy worker, someone that knows how to deal with energy, see energy, and see the differences in energies, also vibrations, you could do a lot of really cool things with your aura. I mean, you could do a lot of cool things, period. But your aura comes a handy dandy notebook because this is a auric field of light, sound, and vibrational energy. As energy cannot be lessened or dissipated, it can only either remain the same or become something more. Your body, aka your vessel's vibrational energy, on a cellular level is constantly changing and becoming more. And even when you are deceased and gone, that residual energy from even dust particles remain. And at that point will remain the same. The sound energy of your soul will continue to come back through the first 2 stages in the echoes of time repeatedly until they become something more through the third stage. And the spirit, the higher form of consciousness, goes back to something more and that was greater than a light fractal celestial energy that comes from the higher source of consciousness. And yes, there are many things within this video that I could touch deeper and greater into because a 10-minute video is not long enough. As always, friends, make good choices.